Well, what is going on, boys and girls? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Just coming off the most amazing weekend of my life, marrying my best friend. Absolutely had a blast, but now it's time to get back into the swing of things. Just picked up the boat from Mid-Kansas Marine, got all the fluids changed. They changed the thermostat in the Mercury too. Went out for a little bit yesterday on Monday and ran this thing around. Runs like a damn top, so thank you so much to the good fellas at Mid-Kansas Marine for hooking me up on my wedding weekend. It is now Tuesday afternoon, kind of getting a late start, just kind of trying to play catch up from basically being hammered for 2 days straight. But yeah, we're gonna run out on the lake, try and do a little bit of scouting for this week's guide trips. We've got overcast skies, we've got good wind. It got super cold, so things could either be really good or really bad, but I'm thinking they're probably gonna be really good. After we get off the lake, I'm gonna take you guys along with me. We're gonna stop by Jeremy's house with Swing-em-in baits. We've got a load of swim baits to pick up, a little bit of restock action for this upcoming fall weeks here. Schedule is going to be crazy as far as guide trips go these next couple weeks, all the way up till Christmas, honestly. So really looking forward to that. It's been a nice little wedding break, but in the meantime, like you can see here, I've got the boat hooked up. We're all bundled up, ready to go. So I will see you guys out on the lake on the spot, and we'll kind of figure out what we're going to do. Well, as you guys can tell, just like from my last video, we have picked the best / worst day for the wind. I always say in my videos, more so especially on this lake, but especially in the early spring and the late fall period like we're in right now, a west wind on this lake is the absolute best. But you guys know how the saying goes, wind from the west, fish bite the best. I don't really buy into all that stuff, but on this particular lake, this time of year, on this spot that we're gonna fish, a west wind is absolutely perfect. That whole wind from the east, fish bite the least, wind from the west, fish bite the best thing is just mostly from tidal waters, like where depending on the wind direction, blows the tide in and out, better fishing, blah, blah, blah. Ho, ho! Oh yeah, we're gonna have some fun this afternoon, boys and girls. That right there is a metric load of fish. And just like my last video, the video is going to be kind of repetitive from the last one, but I don't even care, because this time of year on this spot, when you roll up to the spot and the deep water looks like that, it's going to be absolutely lights out. So I'm not sure if we're going to put Livescope down, try and Livescope these fish. We've got a little bit too many waves to be able to do that and present the baits like we need to. So I'm pretty sure we're just going to set up on these fish to where they're either behind us or off to the side and cast to them, but they are loaded up in the river channel, which means they are absolutely gorging themselves silly. So enough talking to the camera. I'm gonna get the Tarova down. We're gonna get spot locked, figure out what we're gonna do. All right, well, before we do anything, we're gonna make sure we got the net ready, because I'm pretty sure we're gonna need it. So it's just gonna reside right there. We are gonna grab the 2.75 inch hammertail, which we'll be going over to Jeremy's house to make and pick up. Pretty sure we are dialed. We may have to pull out the half-ounce jig head, because in this wind and that current ripping this way, I don't think that bait is staying where it needs to. So we're gonna change that up. Oh good, my other GoPro just turned off. Well, at least we didn't catch one on the first cast. Am I right? Fish on. Just had to put on a little heavier jig head, because yeah, that 3/8 today I don't think was actually going to do the trick. So we're going back to the exact same setup we were using in the last video. Just got a big white bass here. Big, another big giant white. Like I said in the last video and this video, we're not going to be picky. There's going to be a lot of those guys mixed in. Going to be an every cast kind of afternoon. Hey, also one thing I want to mention, that a lot of people everywhere on the YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram are all like, if you're a Garmin guy, then why don't you run the Garmin trolling motor? Well, today Days like today are exactly the reason why, because they're 57-inch shaft. There's no way that shaft would ever even remotely on a day like today stay in the water. The 57-inch shaft, by the time you put it on the boat, is about 50 or 51 inches. And this Terova is a 60, and it loses 3 inches because of the lift assist mechanism on the shaft. But yeah, if you're ever wondering why I don't run a Garmin Force trolling motor, it's because I like to fish on days like today, and there's no way I'd be able to. So when they come out with a longer shaft, I will absolutely put one on my boat, but for now, the Terova is just gonna have to do. But I get a lot of questions about that, and I always look forward to days like today so that people can understand truly why that is the only reason I do not run the Garmin Force. So anyway, let's catch another one. There we go. Oh, he's off. No. Oh, it's gnarlier out here today than it was the other day when I posted that video last week. It is definitely gnarlier. And honestly, even with the 1/2 ounce jig head like this, the way that I'm casting, it's really hard to keep that bait where it needs to be in the water column. So it's a little bit more of a struggle, but I may even like get off of this bait casting setup with fluorocarbon to go back to braid, because it cuts that water so much better. But I don't know, I may have to set up so that those fish are behind me casting with the wind behind the boat versus off to the side like this too. Oh, that was a fish. Yep, there he is. He was on there the whole time. Yeah. Get up here. Get up here. What do we got? Wiper. It's too rough to try and boat flip these guys today. Yeah. Oh, what a gong show. What a gong show. Woo. Yeah. Really doing it, Harry. 2.75 inch hammertail, big key in this big rough weather. Woo! Oh my goodness. What is that? What is that? I just either ran into something huge or something just crushed me on the way up. Wow, 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 wow. What do we have here? Could it be a big blue, or is it a foul hooked wiper? I was literally just moving up forward a little bit because there's a massive group of fish over there, like you guys can see on Livescope right there, about 50 feet over that way, and I was burning my bait back, and I thought maybe I ran into a tree. And then the tree started swimming. Whatever it is, I don't know if it's hooked in the mouth. Might be a big blue cat. Get a lot of big blues in the fall. Wow. Try and put Livescope on it. Oh, I see him. I see him, he's right there. He's fighting. I don't, looks like it's coming in backwards, unfortunately. But as you guys can probably see on Livescope, there's just a lot of fish. So I was literally just reeling my bait back in to make another cast and ran into something. Yeah, he's coming in backwards. I can see him on Livescope. He's 5 feet down. He's coming up quick. There's the leader. Oh, big kitty. Yeah, big blue. He's not in the mouth, but I knew that these big blues were going to be mixed in. Whew. Yeah, we are still just absolutely surfing, but look at that sky back behind us. Unreal right now. Yeah, come here, girl. All right. That's one thing I often complain about catfish, but I do not complain about big flatheads and little flatheads and nice blues. And we got a nice blue here. It's unreal how fat these blue cats get in the fall like this. Nice and lively. Look how fat that thing is. Good night. That's not even a big blue, that's just a nice eater, but not for this lake. 35-inch limit on this lake, but that is just a fatty. I love it. All right, let's get him back here real quick. A nice bonus. Wow. As you guys can tell, the conditions have not gotten any better. We're gonna lose the sun here in about, I don't know, 20 or 30 minutes. So I'm gonna think about maybe catching 1 or 2 more, see if we can't get a nice wiper, a nice walleye, and then get out of here, go to Jeremy's and get some baits. There we go. Way back behind the boat. Having GoPro issues as usual. Who is that? Hey! Wallace? Is that you? It is. Just starting to potentially get into this bite here too. Not a big guy or an eater even by any means, but always nice to see Mr. Toothy Guy mixed in with the party. And there we go. Yet another white bass. That's one thing I was kind of going to mention. I'm pretty sure. Ooh, another Wallace. That one, very tempting, but this one might go 15. I'm not going to take him home, but this is the bite that we're hoping for here now that the water is in the 40s. Is that these walleyes are going to start showing up in the river channels. This size is not indicative of the size we're looking for, obviously, but when you get it mixed in with all the wipers and the white bass, it's still pretty fun. But anyway, what I was trying to say is I'm pretty sure a lot of these bigger wipers are sitting in the river channel in that, you know, like 35, 40 foot of water, sitting 20 or 25 feet down. But when you're trying to vertically fish those fish on Livescope in 2 or 3 foot waves coming across the lake, doesn't really work. So we just got to keep throwing swim baits and hope for the best. But either way, on an every cast kind of day, really can't complain. He tried to take that rod right out of my hand. Look at that. Did we find the pod of Toothy Guys? Sauger this time. Just goes to show, guys, when we talk about swim baits, literally catch everything. It is no secret, but that is the most versatile bait you could ever possibly throw in the spring and the fall. So we got a couple nice walleyes and a nice little sauger too. Sweet. Freaking wiper? We do, and my chest camera is died or dead or something. I just hit record on this one, and in the middle of setting the hook, or in the middle of pressing record, set the hook, and it's a dandy wiper. Just as we were talking about him. He's not ready yet either. Oh, kind of weird. Oh, get in there. Whew. All right, well, the wind has finally died down a little bit. The sun is just about to hit the trees, and we finally got yet another wiper. That is an absolute dandy right there too. Almost as wide as it is long. Choked it. It's hard to, again, just like in the last video, it's hard to leave biting fish, but like I said, I don't really want to run across the lake in the dark when it's still rough like this, but that's a good one to end it on right there, boys and girls. So with that said, we're gonna get the boat loaded up. We're gonna make the 5-minute drive over to Swing 'em In Baits, Mr. Jeremy Conway's house. Get some swim baits, get ready for this week's guide trips. Thanks, girl. All right, guys, well, as you can tell, we are off the water here. We are back at Swing 'em In Bait Co. headquarters. We are in the bait lounge right now. We've got all of the crappie plastics back behind us here. And then my other favorite part of the bait cave, we've got all of the swim baits. We've got the little swimmers, we've got hammertails, all kinds of other stuff. I don't know. You're selling what? Canine stuff now too?
Canine line.
We got braid.
Got a few different options of braid and fluorocarbon. You can check them out on the website.
Yeah, he does have some stuff. I didn't even notice that. We haven't even been in here. Honestly, Jeremy and I in the last hour and a half that I've been here have just been drinking whiskey. So I haven't even been in here, but we've got all the BAMs jigs here, all the 1/8 ounce, 1/4 ounce, 3/8 ounce jigs that Cliff BAM sells. These actually right here are some that I may have to take off Jeremy's hands right there, because those are some of the jigs that I use for wipers too. But
well, we're kind of getting ready for the winter rush. Got most of the crappie baits in stock. One of the new ones that we really got into the end of the summer was the baby battle shads. Bob Purr and I had really good luck with them during the tournament season. As you can see, I'm trying to build up the inventory of those. I'm trying to get all the colors in the baby battle shads like that I have in the flappers. So eventually I'll have all those stocked up. It's going to be a really good bait going into the winter bite. So kind of excited about that. The battle shads, I mean, it's one of my favorite go-to baits for the winter, the bigger battle shads. Once the bite gets good and they're really eaten, it's hard to beat a 1/4 ounce head with a regular size battle shad. But the big battle shad is a 2 3/4 bait, where the baby battle shad is a 2-inch bait. But the biggest difference is in the actual, like the diameter size. Kind of hold that out. Like there is the 2-inch baby battle shad. It fits really well with like an 1/8 or 32nd ounce jig head. Most of the time we were running them with an 1/8 or a 16th. The full size battle shad, even though it's just a 2 3/4 bait, it's a beefy bait. I like running it on a pretty much a 1/4 ounce head. I mean, even though it's only 3/4 longer, the physical diameter gets pretty good size. It just gives a bigger profile. I know Brian's had really good luck with using it for the wiper and walleye, more than just crappie. So it's kind of a versatile bait also.
yeah, that is, you guys have seen the videos on my channel, which will be coming out here in the next, hopefully a couple weeks once that bite materializes. But that 3-inch battle shad, this guy.
Yeah,
right
the
here.
pearl and the white flash.
Just literally the white, and sometimes I'll dip that in the chartreuse, dip the tail in the chartreuse, but with the flash in it too. And I use those on a 3/8 ounce jig head for when the wipers and the walleyes are deep in the channel, fishing vertical on Livescope, but that's also a killer crappie bait too. So I guess the whole point of me being in here right now is to let you guys know right ahead of the crappie season that you guys need to go to swingeminbaitco.com and order up all of the baby battle shads, the regular battle shads, the flappers, and the smaller stingers, as well as all of the hammertails as well. Everything that you guys have seen in my last 3 or 4 videos on the channel have all been the hammertails. These are the 3.5 inch Swing 'em In, just the regular swimmers, which I do really like those, but I really do prefer the hammertails, especially for when the water's dirty. So that's gonna lead me right back into the bait making space, because Jeremy has all of my custom hammertails done up here for the next couple weeks. Now, These guys right here, these split colors, are not going to be available for purchase on the website. If you guys want those, you're going to have to message Jeremy directly on via email or on the Facebook. You're going to pay a little bit extra for those because that's a lot more work to get that split tail situation. So you guys can work that out for him with him. But as far as just the regular colors go, we've got the purple and chartreuse, we've got all chartreuse, and then just the plain white here, so I don't have to dip the tails in chartreuse when it's blowing 20 miles an hour, but really excited to use those.
Anytime you order off the website, to use the code KAE10 and you'll get a 10% discount of all the soft plastics and jig heads. I think the only thing that doesn't apply to the code is like the K9 line that has an MSRP price that I got to stick to, but all the soft plastic and jig heads will be 10% off with the KAE10 or KAE10.
Hey, let's have another bourbon. Yeah. We're gonna catch some big wipers and big walleyes on these suckers this season. But like I said, he has already had these poured up in anticipation for this video. So that's all I have to say about that. I'm gonna take the last of my bourbon as well as all of my hammer tails that you guys saw me in the last two videos hammer big wipers, white bass, walleyes, and saugers tonight on, and we're just gonna go from there. So all the links will be down in the description, as well as my discount code KAE10 for 10% off your orders for the hammer tails and even the BAMS jig heads if you guys want those too. We're gonna have a lot more videos this late fall and winter as far as the crappie and wipers and white bass and walleyes and saugers are concerned. And that's all I have to say about that. This has been way too long, and this video is going to be way too long, but I will not apologize. So thank you so much, Jeremy, for always hooking us up. Jeremy is a really good friend of mine, and like I said, we've just been sitting here for the last 2 hours BSing about life and stuff. I have got to get home, get the boat put away, charged up, ready for my first guide trip back tomorrow after wedding weekend. Once again, thank you all so much for all your kind words on the Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube channel. We will see you guys back very soon on the next one. Jeremy, send them off.
Hey, I want to say thank you to everybody that watches these. I really appreciate the business, and I hope everybody has a great winter and catches a lot of fish. Tight lines.
Let's go. All right, you guys have a good one. Thanks for watching.